Hey guys, so this is going to be a review of a Nottingham castle. So I have mixed emotions. So basically this was closed a while back and for quite a while because of funding and everything like that, because yeah, that sort of thing. And then it recently reopened last month, which I didn't know until was it this week? No, is it this week? No, last week. My brain's gone to fog. It was last week and I realised, I was like, oh, it's now open. But anyway, so instead of doing like a vlog and film a vlog and everything, I thought I'd just do a review anyway. So I've never been to Nottingham Castle because when I did research it, that's when I found out it was closed. I was so devastated. Now it's open. So first off, which is really good, is, well, the National Trust don't own it. That's probably why it's actually a good price. So the price to get in for an adult is, it's either £12 or £13, but that lasts for the whole year. So you can visit anytime. So if you are local, it's definitely worth the money. Like that, the £13, you could then go like, I don't know, once a month or something in that year. So basically, it's good. It's really good money. So if you don't know what Nottingham Castle is, it's basically, obviously in the name, a castle, and it's slap bang in the city centre, so it is easy to find. Well, sort of the outskirts, just outside the outskirts of the city centre. But basically all around it and all the shops weren't there. It used to all be Nottingham Forest. Now, if you've been to Nottingham Forest from Nottingham Forest, I think it's like half an hour away on bus, maybe slightly less or slightly more, but it is quite a bit. But you imagine from Nottingham Forest all the way up to Nottingham Castle, that used to all be forest. But anyway, so that's why it's kind of like in there. So what does Nottingham Castle consist of? So this is where I get like mixed kind of feelings about it, because it's basically turned into a museum. So you've got an art museum, you've got a very small museum when it comes to most museums have like an army exhibit. I can't remember exactly what it's called, but that one's more so to like the modern war. Well, when I say modern, like in the 2000 basically. So you got a small exhibit there. They have like a Jamaican small exhibit. I don't know if that's one of those like temporary like pop-up ones. They do have pop-up ones, but they didn't have one today. They have an area where kids can like pretend to do archery and stuff, and they've got a cafe and stuff. But what I was hoping was it not completely turning into Nottingham Castle, if you get what I mean. Like, not turn into Nottingham, but turn it into like a museum and like refurbish it. I would have liked to at least leave a little bit of kind of the remains of what it is, if that makes any sense. Because the outside of the castle looks beautiful, but obviously inside it's so modernized. It was kind of like, I'm just like, it's a museum, but am I really going to travel that far to see a museum? Which, I mean, to be fair, our museum in Derby is better. The Arts and Gallery one's better than that one. But it's kind of like, oh, it's kind of like hit and miss. I'd rather, personally, I mean, to be fair, it could have been because of, I don't know how much it would cost. It'd be probably more cost for the to upkeep it and everything like that. But I would have at least liked to have, just a little bit of the insides of the castle. Just a little bit. I don't know. It's kind of, I've heard some people say that as well, that it's just like a museum and everything. But I mean, as I said, I can't say like it's overpriced, because you can go, once you've paid, you can go any time of the year. So I can't even say it's a rip off. It kind of like matches like perfectly the price and then what you get and stuff like that. Next thing, so they offer cave tours. So when I say cave tours, it's basically Mortimer's hole. You can all kind of see it, can all go through like the details and stuff. You get a tour and they go around everything. I just can't remember what more. Basically, Mortimer's hole is basically a hole. It's kind of like a cave, but it's like a man-made cave they did like years and obviously during the time. And yeah, basically, I'm not going to pretend to kind of, you know, retell everything and stuff, but you have a guided tour who proper like goes into everything, the history and stuff like that. A thing to point out, because he goes in so depth about like the history and stuff, and I did see kids on the tour. I'm I'm not saying like they won't be interested, but it may be a bit boring for them. Um, it is around, I think it's around like 45 minutes. That's what they advertise it anyway. I can't remember if it was like 45 minutes. I think it was around about 45 minutes. And basically, a lot of it is him talking about. I don't know if there's more than one tour guide, but the tour guide that I had when I was there was a guy. And basically, he kind of, as I said, went in depth with the history and the stories and stuff like that. And that's what kind of takes a massive chunk of that time, because it's not that big. I'm not saying it's not impressive or anything, but if you're somebody who like likes caves and stuff like that, I would say the ones at the Heights of Abraham are better, as in they look better, if that makes any sense. But if you want to, it's fun to do like once, because as I said, it goes into the history of why this, you know, underground like caves there and stuff like that. So it is, you know, interesting to learn about history and stuff. But if you're somebody who likes visuals and stuff like that, it's not something you necessarily want to go more than once. I mean, it's up to you. And that was priced at £5. But what's also included in there, now this is where I've completely forgotten everything, but they've basically they're you know, when they so basically the buildings, which are all there anyway, so they've not modernized that, but they have kind of modeled as to how everything would be, if that makes any sense. It's basically where all the workers who made things by hand used to be. And then there's like a mini, as again, sort of like cave sort of thing to walk through, but that you do that on your own. So yeah, so that's included in the ticket. So yeah, as I said, we're in the whole focusing on Nottingham Castle. As I said, it looks really beautiful outside. Inside, it's really modernized. As I said, the museum's alright, but it's not that big, and I prefer the I prefer my, like, if I was to go there just for the museum, I wouldn't. I just prefer my local one, because I feel that it's better and it's a lot bigger as well. Um, but yeah, really nice views though. But it's kind of like, as I said, I can't say it's overpriced, but do bear in mind that it is literally just a museum inside. It's literally just a museum. And then if you want to know about more of the history of the castle and everything, then go for the cave tour. But yeah, that's basically it. So as I said, as I recommend it, if you've not been there before, I'd recommend doing it once. As I said, you get that you pay once, you get that ticket, you can use it for that whole year. Personally, would I go again? Obviously I will, because I've got this ticket, but would I repay? Probably not, if I'm being honest. For me, when I like to go visit like historic places, I like the inside to stay historic as well. And the museum for me isn't something where I was like, wow, this is so amazing, I'm gonna come back. Maybe if there's ever an event I'm interested in, maybe I'll go back. But other than that, it's one of those things where I'd recommend you do once. But also it's great for kids as well, because they do have like a play area. It's just a cave tour I don't necessarily recommend doing, because they might get bored to death. um but yeah, that's basically my review and summary of Nottingham Castle. So bye guys.